Hi, and welcome to another episode in the Macau Ayahuasca Retreats podcast. This is a space in which I hope to be giving you tips, tools, and knowledge so that you can prepare, experience, and integrate your ayahuasca ceremonies. I cannot tell you how much I've been waiting to do this episode. It's like I've been starving for 3 days and longing for or to record myself, and the time has come. And yeah, I know you're gonna be hearing maybe some noises in the background, but I'm not gonna be a podcaster that is gonna be waiting for the perfect environment to record myself. Inspiration comes when the time comes, and there's like a synchronicity to it, and this is my way of bringing down like my spiritual being. So yeah, if you vibe with me, if you resonate, well, we have a whole program to help you prepare, experience, and integrate your ayahuasca retreat here in Medellin, Colombia, with certified shamans. Let's jump into our topic of today. The image, as you can see in the title, is a phrase from one of our patients in her integration session after one of her ceremonies. But I want to go a little bit deeper, and I want to be talking today about the way ayahuasca teaches us. This is again, and you're gonna be hearing this from me many times, but this is my way of seeing it. In the world of ayahuasca, and I think in life in general, but it is very common in the world of ayahuasca that everybody has their own point of view, but this is a point of view that I have built myself not only by going to ayahuasca and experiencing it myself, but by guiding a lot of people and listening to shamans and medicine men and women. I've been doing this for years, and well, myself also, that I've been doing it for more than 5 years now. So I want to be sharing with you an analogy that I think I have never shared with anyone else, and I'm glad that you're one of the first ones through this podcast, so that you can understand the great power of ayahuasca and how it can like bring that kind of epiphanies to those that experience it. Well, and one of our future posts is gonna say something like ayahuasca is not a shortcut, but I believe it is in one way. It's not a shortcut for the solution, but it is, if you do it right, it is a shortcut for epiphanies. And then what you do with those epiphanies is really what changes your life. It wouldn't make any sense if you get 100 epiphanies but you don't do anything with them. Well, your life is gonna be the same. You're just gonna have 100 ideas, but not 100 actions that you did to change your life. So yeah, it is a shortcut, but for epiphanies. So we're gonna talk about that. How does it really give you those kinds of epiphanies? And one of the phrases that I once heard from, I don't remember who, like Michael Pollan or Paul Stamets, I don't really remember, but it was somebody that said that psychedelics and ayahuasca that we're talking today is just an expansor. It expands, it multiplies 100-fold everything that we have inside. So it makes it a lot easier for us to see our lights and our shadows, what we don't do very good and where we fail a lot, and what we are good at, and where we, or what we call our mission, what we came here to do to this earth, and that is our lights. And one of the ways that ayahuasca once told me, and this is one of the main things that I want to tell you, ayahuasca doesn't tell you things only in the ceremony, it also tells you 2-3 days after the ceremony. And this was something specifically that I brought back to earth like 3 days after one of my ceremonies. It was an epiphany just in the day of light of a routine day, but I had a ceremony 3 days ago, and that epiphany like came to me. But it made me understand a lot of how it was helping me have those kind of epiphanies. And what it was telling me is that in our society, and mainly in the Western world, we have like a two-dimensional way of seeing the world. But ayahuasca and life and nature is like that. It responds to the laws of nature and to the laws of physics. And I'm gonna give you one very simple example. The easiest way to share how the world looks like is with a two-dimensional map. This is the way all of the humans mostly will look the world at, in a like a flat earth way. If you think, where is South America compared to North America, you're gonna be looking in your mind, you're gonna imagine in your mind not the world as a sphere, but you're gonna look at it as the two-dimensional map that we all have. It is a flat image where you see, I don't know, North America in the top left part and South America in the bottom left part. So you will say that that's why it's called North America, because it's in the earth. And then you're gonna see Europe around the middle of the map, and below it is Africa, and then on the right we have Asia and Australia. So my epiphany was like, okay, if let's say Japan is in the right of the map, and then Hawaii, for example, is in the far left of the map, of the same map, you would say and you would think, and if you didn't know how really nature works or how really the world is, you would think that Hawaii and Japan are the two most far away places in the world, wouldn't it? But as we know, and then I have another question for you. If they're so far apart from each other, how is it possible that the country that attacked the US in World War II, why was it Japan? And why did Japan attack Hawaii if they are the farthest of all? Wasn't it more like easier for Japan to attack, I don't know, some country in Europe? It would be much more close to Japan than Hawaii, according to that two-dimensional map. Just stick with me. I know I'm talking a little bit more slow and I am taking my time, but this is the way ayahuasca was telling me, and it told me in Spanish. I'm trying to translate this not only from the spiritual world, but also from my language, my natural language, to English. But yeah, as I tell people, if you vibe with me, even with that barrier that we may have, it means that maybe I can get you through this process. But yeah, think about it. Why? And it is because the Earth is not a two-dimensional flat map. It is a sphere, which means that in the flat map, it would seem like they're the most far apart places in the world, but in reality, they are very close together, and this is why Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, which is a base in Hawaii. Okay, so what does it have to do with ayahuasca? Ayahuasca is a natural medicine, and it talks in the language of nature. What it means is that most of the time it is going to use the forces of nature to bring us the epiphanies or the message that it has for us to teach us. And how does it do it? So in the same way we think of light and darkness, or good luck and bad luck, or we think of the good things that happen to us and the bad things that happen to us, we think them as a two-dimensional thing. We think that the good things are very far apart from the bad things, that the people that have good luck are very different from the people that have bad luck, and that it is like a linear process in which you have to do a whole thing to go from darkness to light, from good to bad, from bad to good. And it isn't. Most of the time, the things that look the darkest for us and that we don't want to visit and that we don't want to look and even be close to it, most of the times they are the ones that have the answers for us and are the closest to the light, to the good things. I don't know if you remember this or if you saw this movie, but in Inside Out, which is a Pixar movie, there was a scene in which the girl, the main character, or the emotions in her memory, she thought that her one of her most happy moments was just that moment. But then she remembered that right before that she was crying, and then something happened that all of her friends and family came to cheer her up, and that was one of her happiest moments. So one of her happiest moments happened just after her saddest moment. And that is one of the things that is gonna be making ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is gonna be taken to a very dark place. You're gonna be having a lot of fear. You're gonna be fighting it and not wanting to see into it. But right after it, it takes you so far to the west, so to say, that you end up in the east. Exactly like that. How would you go from Hawaii to Japan? You won't have to go all over the world. Going to the east is east because Hawaii is on the most west part of the world. No. What you need to do to go from Hawaii to Japan is just go more west. And by going more to the west, you'll end up on the farthest east part of the world. That is how nature works. It is not the two-dimensional map that you think it is, but it is much more like a sphere in which when you go more to darkness, you end up in the light. And if you are holding too hard to the things that you think that make you happy, and if you keep trying to hold them, you'll end up going more to the, let's say, to the east, and you will end up in the farthest west part of the world. So most of the times, in those times that you hold yourself and you don't want to let go of the things that you think that make you happy, that is the action that is gonna take you to depression and that. So that is what ayahuasca has told me, and that has to do with the phrase that this person was telling us, which was that ayahuasca, in one moment of the ceremony, was trying to tell her that she needed to be in the present moment, but she wasn't listening. So what ayahuasca did was just like satisfy her ego. Her ego didn't want it to be here, in this place, right here, as that phrase that had gotten so popular, here and now. But let's focus now on only one of those words, here. The here is the place. So she didn't want it to be here, like the person she was, the profession she had, the job she had. She wanted to be everywhere else, have another partner, have another job, have another reality, have another body. So what ayahuasca did was take her to all of those things that she wanted to have and more, all at the same time. And at one point in the integration session, she told me like ayahuasca took me to so many places that I couldn't even handle it. I thought I was gonna go crazy. And ayahuasca even expanded it more and more and more until her own ego said, okay, I understand. I don't want to be in all of the places at the same time. That is a lie that I'm telling myself. I want to be only in one place, and it's here. The here that I have in this present moment. And that is a very powerful thing that we need to understand when we're going to ayahuasca. And this happens to us in the Western world when we are in crisis. We want to not be in crisis, not knowing that that crisis is going to give you exactly what we need to have the success that we're dreaming to have exactly at that moment in crisis. We need to live it, and that is what ayahuasca has the power to do. But most of the people spend the whole ceremony fighting, not wanting to be in that crisis, not wanting to be expanded in that crisis, and having that shortcut, like that epiphany, not having to live that crisis for years or months, but rather have it in one ceremony, have that epiphany. It will be the hardest thing that you're gonna be doing, but then you're gonna have the most beautiful epiphanies in your life. And this is one of the ways that I've learned that ayahuasca teaches us. I want to close this podcast with this. I don't want to expand anymore. I really hope I could explain to you without being very, very redundant or hard to understand. But yeah, I think this can help you even with your preparation, but mostly with your integration. In case you had one vision, one thing that you didn't want to see, but maybe it brought you one piece of idea, one piece of information that might help. I hope you enjoyed. If you want me to guide you through the whole process, we're going to take you to prep experience with certified shamans and then integration. And I hope to see you soon. Bye.